Welcome back to the Bionicle Comedy Central podcast. As Mace once said, if you're here, then you're farther from the brightest spot on YouTube, or something like that. But let's be more positive for now, from here on out. I'm Chris Major 2124.
I am LQ 1998.
And I'm May 3739.
And today we will be discussing more of Bionicle 2015. The news hasn't been as shocking or up in the air as it was the last time we reviewed the news, but still, there have been several developments and speculations. And because I only read the lame Facebook page posts, I'm going to let LQ and Mace start with what they found.
Okay, so I think what we're going to want to start with is Christian Faber's recent blog post on the Faber files. Let me just bring it up so I can quote directly.
Yep. For those of you who don't know, Christian Faber is the main artist for the Bionicle series, as well as just for a lot of stuff that LEGO's done.
Or was the main artist, as this article will explain.
Alright, I guess that makes sense. Let's go with that.
So, I'll put the picture he uploaded on the video, but basically it's like an old-style Taraga from this Manui-themed beach looking at the sunset. And there's some words in Matoran at the top, which I haven't translated. My Matoran's a bit rusty. Maybe Mace is better than me at translating this. But anyways, down...
Yeah,
okay.
I translated it a couple days ago. It was something like,
Shadows of the Past.
Yeah.
Shadows of the Past.
Let me get the page.
Probably something inspirational. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. Tell you what, you guys talk about it while I quickly review my Matanui and prove that even in college you can procrastinate with studies.
Okay, so, first thing he said in the comments is, Dear all this is Christian Faber. Dear all blog readers, I just want to point out that I never post any official or current or coming story material on this site. This is to be considered a piece of fan fiction, not official, not canon. Just comment to the great news of Bionicle returning. Just a comment to the great news of Bionicle returning from seen as 2001 point of view. Taraga Beach is a metaphor for a place where all the old fans see the news. They have great knowledge, but can't predict the future. It is a great and thrilling view.
Okay, I have the translation here. Okay. Shadows of the past, return. Rays of the future on Taraga Beach.
Okay.
That just sounds pretty cool, whatever it is.
And then someone asked right after that, what is your involvement in Bionicle 2015?
Ooh, that must have put him on the spot.
He said, Bionicle is a life-changing part of my world for more than 10 years, and I am extremely proud of having been part of the creation of a modern legend. For 10 years, I was living almost inside the legend, and I feel that I did the right thing at the right time, which ultimately is all you can wish for as a creative. I won't bore you with the details, but let's just say that when it comes to Bionicle now, I have become a Taraga. It is crucial that Bionicle gets some new energy. Sorry, I kept it. This is really zoomed in. It's on a mobile view. I have to keep scrolling.
Yeah.
It's crucial that Bionicle gets some new energy, and that it... In just a second, the rest of the page failed to load.
Yep, here, I'll finish it. It is crucial that Bionicle gets new energy, and that is what has happened. I will watch from the beach as new creative heroes set off into the sunset and enjoy the rays of the new legend. I have new and different stories to tell, and I hate repeating myself. Which, I'm just going to say this now, that's making me a little nervous. He says, I will watch from the beach as new creative heroes set off into the sunset. Well, that doesn't exactly sound like he's saying anything about involvement.
It sounds like it's the same thing Greg is saying he was involved with that Kepler's brought up in the last podcast. That he is... they're consulting him on stuff, but he's not part of the main story team.
Trolling Greg.
So...
Yeah, so I'm just imagining Faber, Christian, I'll just go by first name basis because we're that close. I can just imagine Christian and Greg sitting on a beach. No, each got a glass of lemonade or something, sitting on the horizon, and all the us Bionicle fans are going, "What are you doing? Get off your butts and write our story!"
Yeah, but at least they are being consulted for it. That makes
Yeah,
so.
it's not
And
nothing.
from what we've seen, if you've seen like the new concept art pictures today, they look very Bionicle-ish.
Yeah, looks
Yeah,
like it
which I'm
makes
happy
good.
about that. Yep.
Okay, so then we've got Greg has alluded to the new Bionicle story being a hard revive.
A hard what?
Yes, yes.
Hard revive, meaning not a new canon.
So, are we talking reboot or?
Well, sort of. It's like it's the same universe concept, but it's. I'm not sure the best
And
way to explain it. Like the Marvel Ultimate Comics, which I know Mace doesn't like, but a lot of people liked them. It's the same concept, but told in a different way. Same characters, but different characters. You know what I mean?
So essentially, we're
Yeah.
not seeing a continuation.
No, not a continuation.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for ruining everything.
It's honestly the best move. Not doing continuation is a smart move for them, I think.
Yeah, it's not gonna make the fans happy.
Actually, from what I've seen, is most of the fans want a hard reboot, not a continuation.
What? I mean, that means everything that we ever had for Bionicle is now poof.
No, it's still there. It's just gone. You know, like how a comic revive in DC.
So it's just there, but it's gone.
It's there in a different universe.
Hopefully,
It's it's like the old Spider-Man movies and the new Spider-Man movies. That doesn't make the old Spider-Man movies like they're never around, but they're not related at all to the new ones.
Which disappointed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well,
As in a lot.
I think the good thing about the hard reboot too is though it can't mess with any of our old canon.
Yeah.
I mean, all that is safe.
It kind of can because it's gonna rewrite it all now.
Well, not going to rewrite it. It's just going to write it a different Bionicle story. It's not going to rewrite the old one. It doesn't mean they're going to be going along the same story. I mean, it can be we already know it's a totally different story. The Masqueration was never that big a part of the original Bionicle, and now it is. And we do know it's alluding to the old universe, but it's not the old universe.
Yeah, but we're not going to have... What I'm getting at, though, is that by putting in a new universe, they're basically getting rid of whatever was left in the old universe. So now that basically, by overriding, they may put it in a different universe, if you want to use that category, but now it basically doesn't really mean anything because there's a new Bionicle replacing it.
Well,
I'm not sure
the old Bionicle couldn't have continued forever. We gotta accept that. And I think this really is the best way they could have done it.
Yeah, we need to do like a user poll somewhere on our page, or actually, you know what? While we're at this is on YouTube. Comment on your thoughts. Is a rewrite great, or is a rewrite the worst thing that could ever happen to your childhood?
You need to watch the TTV Bionicle autopsy about this called "You Killed Bionicle."
I killed Bionicle?
Yeah. Watch it after we
Gosh, I'm a
finish.
terrible person.
Just watch it after we're done. It's really good. All the Bionicle autopsies are.
So the autopsy that makes me nervous actually.
You'll see.
It's like they killed one of my family members and hi, you want to come around for the autopsy? No. Of course I don't.
Well, either way, Greg has said
Oh well.
it's still not official, but it's looking very, very likely because Greg has said stuff about what he's saying there does not affect the new canon.
Yeah. Even when Greg
Which I think, Greg might still continue to be answering questions on the old canon, so that's still going to be a thing. It's still going to exist, just outside of this new canon.
So basically we have Bionicle and then Bionicle 2.0.
Yeah. It's just
That is really nerve-wracking.
It's fine, honestly. Just look at all movie revives. How many times comic book revives? A lot of those have been really good.
Yeah.
Well, with the exception of Spider-Man, but I digress.
I don't know. I like the first Amazing Spider-Man, but not quite the second one. Oh well. That's not the point here. Let's move on.
That's a story for a different time. Alright, just something that I thought of, and other people have probably thought of this too, but are any of you concerned that the mask of creation looks a lot like Sauron's helmet?
Well,
I hadn't noticed that myself.
me either.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a bit different, of course, but I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So, speaking of masqueration, want to move on to discussing concept art we got today?
Yep. So on Facebook with the Lego Bionicle page, they
And I believe
sent in
on
12 different
Twitter and
pictures.
Google Plus as well.
Okay, fine. Google Plus. We can admit that. I'm kidding. On Lego social media pages, they've released 12 images of concept art for the Mask of Creation, and about a gajillion different versions. They all look fairly similar, but definitely different.
Okay, so with the first one I'm noticing, which is the one that you see when you first scroll down, see it on your newsfeed, it's like the Mask of Creation. I can't tell if it's like a giant statue or some being wearing it in some sort of cave.
Yeah.
See, there we go.
Now, there's two other things I notice here. One, in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little symbol there, and I don't know what that means.
Maybe skull spider? It appears to have a skull on it and like 8 legs.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm not sure what that is either.
And then,
I hope it's not something
second,
dumb like
up on the
copyright.
left top, we see the signature of the new artist who's been doing a lot of this concept.
Yeah, can we figure out who that is?
I can't quite read it because it's kind of pixely. I can't tell if it says Mask or Misk, and it looks like McKee.
Oh, here, I gotta zoom in. It's Mask Macker, as in M-A-S-K.
Oh, wait, that's not the artist signature, then that's the title. That's the title of the drawing. Well, I feel stupid now. Okay.
I don't know, maybe he just thinks that it's a really cool name or whatever, and we're all, you know what, you just came in on this. You can't really think you're that awesome until you prove that you're that awesome. But that's just me still whining about the whole, oh no, it's a reboot.
So in this image, the masqueration looks a lot like the one that was the final concept. We got lots of spikes at the top. It's just a bit more complex, which is usually the case with Bionicle concept art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the, let's see if I can pull it up again. Here we go. I like how they're the different versions, just period, because, well, one thing I thought of immediately is that Lego's honestly put a lot of thought into this. Alright, I'll call it a reboot. Lego's obviously put a lot of thought into this, and a lot of different designs and such. It doesn't feel like it's slapped together, you know.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, it's gonna be really well thought out, and it's gonna look really good.
And then for the next picture, we've got a very different Mask of Creation, looking like a blue icy type background.
Yep. Somebody commented and said that there's a snake somewhere on. Oh, there we go, top of the helmet.
Yeah, it looks like very.
Makes me think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It makes it look very like Egyptian style, I think. Sort of like, a pharaoh.
Yep, that's what someone just mentioned here. Another person mentioned that the snake part makes them think that might be like a jungle environment, but at the same time it feels like an Egypt-ish environment. But we do notice that this is just a prototype.
Yeah, and they doesn't look like they use this one too much.
Yeah,
because it's very different than all the others we got.
And you can see the Mask Macker signature in the bottom left corner.
Okay, then we have the third one with the purplish background, which is I really like this picture.
Yeah.
I can't tell, but what's wearing the mask? It looks. This is probably not right, but it looks like the Motunui robot.
Oh,
it kind of does, actually.
But that could just be like a basic, figure they're putting the mask on.
Yeah. Guys, this is gonna be a really big mask then. Like no one's gonna be able to wear it. It's like when you're little and your parents give you one of those handy-down bike helmets from your brother, and it just kind of slides around and.
Unless it's like the One Ring in Lord of the Rings and it resizes to whoever's wearing it.
Speaking of which, this picture looks a lot like Sauron. Just saying.
Yeah, and even the background helps tie in.
Speaking of which, how we were all saying, well, a few of us at least, or that the mask looks a lot like Greg's description of it? Someone asked Greg about that in the message. He said he couldn't recall his description of it. So that might have been done entirely on accident.
Troll alert.
Okay, then we have some peace mold things.
This is where I get excited.
So this one looks like almost what we got, just a lot less carvings in the mask.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Kepler's was here. I'd want to hear his opinion on what he thinks the concept arts, if those better match his fantasy of how the mask of creation would have looked.
Yeah.
Kepler's wasn't happy about that. Hey, did you guys notice the headpiece underneath the mask?
Yeah, that's something I want to talk about. Look,
Yeah.
if you see underneath the mask, it looks grayish. It looks kind of like how the Bionicle headpiece used to look. You know, like you can see sort of a joint socket for a jaw type thing.
It
I'm
reminds
not
me a
sure.
lot of the Gotorian style heads.
It looks like the Gotorian style heads, but with more detail maybe, and maybe
and
not
there's something
transparent.
sticking on the back.
So then we've got going on to the next picture. This one looks like the mask of creation in its bishop form. We see more of a view of the back of it, and what some people speculate is an eye stalk in the back of it, like the old Bionicle's head.
Oh, those are always fun. I love those. Yeah. Someone commented and says it looks like a prophet headdress from the Halo games. Like, yeah, everyone has their own opinion on what this mask actually looks like.
Then the third one looks kind of like a razor.
Ah. Don't want to get headbutted by that.
You notice all of these really have the same bottom, though, so apparently they decided that's what they wanted the bottom to look like early on.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I
Which
guess that
is
might
strange
match
because that looks
Greg's
just-
forgotten description.
Oh, I forgot. What was that? Mace, do you remember that Matoran's name? The Matoran of Darkness in Brothers in Arms.
Voltraz?
Yeah, Voltraz. I still don't understand why they made it look so much like Voltraz.
Yeah.
Because Greg forgot his own description. He's all, that one looks good. Let's modify that one.
No, but Greg always says he thinks in words, not pictures.
All right, he looked through the books. That one is that one. Greg, we don't know what that looks like, but I know what it looks like. Because I'm Greg.
Okay, and then third one, we can see what we got as the finished product, which I think we got a side view of it, and it looks really good.
Yeah, this is my favorite of those 3D renders.
And
Yeah, this is awesome.
we've got like dimensions and everything here.
Yeah. Which,
Oh, yeah.
this is gonna be a dumb question, but are these dimensions in? Because it doesn't look like millimeters or centimeters
No,
or anything.
it's most likely was done in Denmark. So they use the metric system there, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, that's probably millimeter. Oh, okay. They use a comma instead of a decimal point. So we're talking like maybe like 25.141 millimeters. So we're looking at about 2 centimeters or so for that one portion. The overall mask is 31.96 plus 15.4, which is 46.36. So, yeah, we're looking at about nearly a 5 centimeter tall mask, which that's pretty big. That's huge.
Yeah.
So this, I'm not exactly sure how to entirely visualize this, but if you take one of the classic Hows, which is about maybe 4 centimeters or so, make that a bit bigger and a bit wider, like about 3.4 centimeters across, and this is going to be a huge mask, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get it on the Titan.
I'd like it if it was that big, really. I think it would really make it look like a great mask.
It'd be awesome. Regardless
legendary.
of how many sets I buy, or which sets I buy, or which sets you buy to make me think I should buy something the original, I want this mask on in my collection.
We still haven't seen where this mask is going to come in, though. I'm guessing not until Wave 2.
Yeah.
Or I wonder if it'll be like the Mask of Time. You know, how that was just released in some strange place, like with the Bionicle game that was never even finished, it was released.
Yeah.
And then
I remember
later
reading
it was
about that.
released with some special edition Baki sets, the gold version of it.
Yeah, which,
Yeah.
just a quick question, do you guys prefer the orange or the gold version?
Gold.
That's pretty much what I
Gold.
figured. All that glitters is gold.
Then after that we've got, which looks like, I'm guessing these are 3D printer instructions? I
Well,
don't
this-
know.
Yeah.
This looks like an STL, yeah. I do a lot of 3D printing and stuff, so this is definitely an STL. Someone says it looks like it's rendered in Rhino's 3D. Whatever that is, I haven't heard of it before. Someone also
Yeah.
commented, I want that model. I wish I could get a couple of prints of these. That'd be awesome.
Could you imagine how terrible that would be if Lego's prints got out and then people could just print them in their own printers, 3D printers everywhere?
Yeah.
Which that'd be a topic for another time, but that'd just be scary for Lego
Yeah.
to think that people can
I
actually
remember
print
they
pieces.
talked about that in Brick by Brick, how 3D printers in some games, like there's a mod in Minecraft that will allow you to print what you make into a
Yeah,
toy.
yeah, I've seen that. Although I can say one thing about printing in Lego. Period. I've done a lot of 3D printing, and even though I'm still fairly new with it, none of my prints are on that same type of precision that Lego is.
Yeah. Okay, we're running out of time here, so let's quickly go through these last few images. We've got a purple mask creation with a yellow point in the middle. Not sure, but it makes that point in the middle seem very significant. I don't know what it means.
My guess is some kind of rendering aid or whatever. Let me think for a second. I know that on a lot of Lego pieces, or just on a lot of plastic pieces in general, you'll find a small little dot area. That's where the plastic went into the mold. So my guess is they're deliberately using that point to have the plastic go into the mold, so it doesn't look weird on the other side. That's just a theory.
And then finally, we've got another picture of the finished mask of creation.
Nice.
I can't tell, but this looks better than all the ones we've gotten before again.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
It's very shiny.
Someone just commented and said that the glyphs remind them of the Nuva symbols from the Borat Cal saga. And while they're not exactly like it, they look pretty similar.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do you think this could possibly be the new version of Matoran for the new Bionicle?
We have to relearn that now? Can we keep something the same besides the name, the brand, and the price per set?
Yeah, there's still a lot the same. We got the original Toa's names.
We got the names. That's about it.
And the mask. A lot of them have the original mask.
Roughly.
Anyways, I'm excited. The best thing about a revive is, though, we're going to have re-established mysteries, too. Like, we had learned almost everything about Bionicle at the point it ended. We don't know where the universe is going to take place. We don't know what the mask creation is going to do. We don't know if there's other great masks. There's just so much mystery to it again.
Yeah, that was always the good part of Bionicle.
Which is why I'm personally excited for it to be a revive. Because, again, we're going to have that feeling of we don't know what's coming next. We don't know what could be done with it. It's going to be... I'm sure that it's going to be totally different in story this time. I mean, it's going to have the same concepts, like, the same universal logic. But, like, done new setting and new plot.
Oh!
I wonder if the Great Beings will take a more central role in the story.
I don't know if there's even going to be great beings.
I hope so.
That, like, dignity figure, there's a strong possibility, like in the original Bionicle, it might not be firmly established who it is till several years into this.
Yeah.
Well, I could be somewhat excited about that, maybe.
And
sorta.
Who knows? What if this includes another one of those really cool hidden things like the Madanui robot was? There's another chance for, like, one of those major plot engines that we're not even going to see coming until they show us.
It's buried under, well, Faber's sitting on a beach, so I don't think he's going to be sticking it down in his desk, but Macker is probably going to stick it in his desk somewhere.
Yeah.
Or unless they give it to Faber, because now they don't think anyone's going to be thinking he'll have it.
It's like, wait a second. Faber hid the main plot point. Disgrave! No. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that we like main storyline leaks on that big of a scale should not happen. Period.
Yeah. I don't think the Madanui, even with all those fans at Bionicle, with its height point it got to, with so many fans, no one figured out the Madanui robot. It was a surprise to everyone. There's a few speculations, but I think they're like the crazy guys on the side of the street yelling the world is ending at the time.
We're all in a giant robot, it's all for nothing.
Oh, speaking of that, Botman pointed this out to me on the Lego message board. If you watch the end of the Madanui robot, Mask of Light, you'll hear Matoran in the background. They're talking about waking Madanui, saying he's a big machine.
What?
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
And the MNOG hinted it a lot.
Yeah, if you go back and play the Monui Online game, it's all over the place.
And we missed all this?
Yeah.
I mean, we must have been pretty dense.
Yeah. And then there's the whole thing we still didn't get. It just totally confused me why they always had to go underground to get to Metro Nui and how that made any sense and how the sea was made of protodermis one place and water in the other. I just couldn't get that until the actual Monui robot came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I thought that Metro Nui was on top of the surface, and then I saw this really good map. I think BC Power posted it. Like, oh, why didn't someone think earlier that this would be a problem? Guys, our city's underground. There's an island above us.
And it's another cool thing. You know how once the Monui fell asleep and then they're like only one of the two suns shown now? That's because one of his eyes was under a lake.
Yeah.
Ooh, that messed things up. I know if one of my eyes is under a lake, I mean, not only the contact problems, but...
Okay, well, we're about out of time now.
Alright, so, should I just walk through the standards, subscribe to us, check out our site, etc.? Or should we mix it up a bit?
Let's mix it up.
Alright, if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, you are the coolest person in the entire universe, just saying. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you still have the opportunity to be the coolest person in the universe, period. So, I highly recommend you do that. And not only will you have the pure joy of being awesome, but you'll have the access to whatever podcasts come next, our new videos, projects, etc. And once you're done with all of this, check out our website, bioniclecomedicentral.wikia.com. We have awesome stuff going there, and that's where you can get pretty much access to whatever we're working on and just be in the know. On top of that, we're going to do something a little bit different today. This is the mixing up. Comment below and tell us what you think about this whole thing. Do you think that a reboot would be the coolest thing on Earth? Or that a reboot is just going to crush your childhood? Do you like what the mask looks like so far? Do you want to get a 3D print of it? Or do you think that you should have done it differently? And most importantly, will you join Faber and Greg on the beach? Or would you not, because their storyline doesn't really count anymore, apparently, or so we've heard. That's just a suspense question.
Someday.
Yeah, I'm trying to make this philosophical and deep. And whiny. A little bit whiny.
Well.
Alright, that's about all for now. So on behalf of the BCC crew, from Chris Major 2124, LQ and Mace, I bid you a good day.